A lot on the line on a Sunday afternoon from Bosse Field. The Washington Wild Things clawing at the Otters' heels for the last spot in the Frontier League West playoff race. It's Sunday baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to historic Bosse Field in the beautiful River City, Evansville Otters baseball. I'm Griffin Epstein, joining you here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. It's been an interesting last 2 days here at Bosse Field in the first two games of this series between the Wild Things and the Otters. Washington winning both high-scoring ball games to secure this series and now going for just their second sweep of the season here at Bosse. Washington took game one 8-6 on Friday night, led the whole way. Otters had 16 hits but stranded 11 runners. Last night, similar in a lot of ways, but it was a come-from-behind victory last night for the Wild Things. Otters had a 4-run lead going into the sixth inning when the Wild Things played at 5 on a variety of crazy circumstances. Ended up scoring the last 8 runs of the game and defeated the Otters 9-5, even though Evansville out-hit Washington for a second straight night. Wild Things haven't swept an opponent since May. The Otters, meanwhile, have only been swept once all season. Washington 5.5 games back and tied with Joliet. You're fourth place in the West, 5.5 back of the Otters for the last playoff spot in the Frontier League West. Wild Things trying to make it 3 wins in a row and finish their 6-game road trip 4-2. And the Otters just 1-4 this week, badly looking for a victory before a 6-game road trip. Time to meet the starting lineups. First for the Washington Wild Things, Anthony Bricado had a home run yesterday, plays right field and leads off for Washington. Wes Darville bats second and plays third base. Wagner Lagrange will hit third and play left field. Andrew Check in the cleanup spot and playing first base. Robert Chayka will bat fifth and play center field. Scotty DeBrule, who had the big hit yesterday, a bases clearing double in that big sixth inning, bats sixth and plays second base. Bottom 3 in the Wild Things lineup: Tristan Peterson, the DH, J.C. Santini, the catcher, and Carson Clowers, the shortstop. Rounding out the lineup for Tom Bay's squad, Zach Kirby, the righty, on the mound for Washington. He makes his 5th start of the season. He's coming off back-to-back quality outings, 3.52 ERA on the season for the righty. On the other side for the Evansville Otters, 41-35 on the season. Gary Mattis will lead off for a third straight game for Evansville and play left field. Noah Myers stays in the 2-hole and plays center field for the Otters. Jeffrey Baez bats third and plays right. Dakota Phillips in the cleanup spot will DH for Evansville. Omar Reyes bats fifth and plays third base. Koda Quiggle batting sixth and playing first. Bottom 3 in the Otters lineup: Ethan Skinder, the second baseman, Justin Felix, the catcher, making his series debut, and George Khalil, the shortstop, rounds out the lineup for the Otters for a second straight day. Righty Zach Smith on the mound for Evansville. It's been a tough last couple starts for Smith, 5-6 on the season with a 3.75 ERA, but Smith has lost his last 3 starts for the Otters. Evansville's pitching staff already its worst week all season. The Otters have allowed 34 runs this week over the first 5 games of the season, already the most runs they've allowed in any week of the season. Otters badly looking for a win, trying to snap a 2-game skid, avoid being swept for the first time at home in 2 seasons. Trying to keep their head above water as they fight to hold on for the last playoff spot in the Frontier League West. It's a big one on a Sunday afternoon. Evansville Otters, Washington Wild Things, Frontier League Baseball coming up next on Flow Sports and the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who now protected and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem this afternoon, performed by Justin, Charlie, Christian, and Chad.
Set for baseball on a overcast Sunday afternoon from Bosse Field. Series finale between the Otters and the Wild Things as Washington goes for a sweep of Evansville. Zach Smith will try to lift up the Otters pitching staff this afternoon on the mound, making his second start of the week. He took the loss against Windy City to start the week on Tuesday. 5 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits on 6 runs. 4 of them were earned and had 4 walks in the game. Smith, a 3.75 ERA on the season, 8 quality outings at 15 starts. Started the season as one of the best pitchers in the Frontier League, but has struggled in the month of July. He's lost 3 straight starts in 4 of his last 5 outings. 2 of his last 3 starts allowing 6 runs or more. It's his 25th birthday. He can rent a car today, and he'd like to pitch the Otters to a victory as he turns 25 on this Sunday afternoon here in August. Overcast conditions, 87 degrees and completely cloudy. Not really any wind at all. American flag sitting flat on the flagpole. Heavy rain is expected tonight, but we should be able to finish this ball game well before thunderstorms roll in. Muggy as well. Real field temperatures in the low 90s for a second straight day here in the River City. Around the infield for Zach Smith, Justin Felix catching, Kona Quiggle at first, Ethan Skinder at second, George Khalil at short, and Yomar Reyes at third base. Gary Madison left, Jeffrey Baez in right, and Noah Myers rounds out the fielders in center for Evansville. Only changes for the Otters on the field. Ethan Skinder taking the spot of Austin Bose at second base, and Justin Felix in at catcher for Zach Smith. Second straight start for Felix with Smith on the bump. Third time this season, Felix has been the battery partner for Smith. 4.90 ERA for Smith when he's on the bump, and Felix his battery partner. Anthony Brocado steps into the right-handed batter's box to lead off for Washington. They're all set for the series finale here between the Otters and the Wild Things. Smith on the right side of the rubber sets and throws home. Brocado pops up the first pitch down the left field line, drifting out of play. Right off the roof, and it almost hit Reyes back on the head. There's the first pitch strike to Brocado to start out the outing. Otters in all whites today, with Otters written in script blue across the chest, blue numerals on the back, and a blue belt. All white pants with high blue socks for Smith on the bump. 0-1 home. Breaking ball outside, 1-1 strike. Blue and white hat with a blue brim and a white front with the blue E on the front for Evansville. Washington wearing the same uniform for a third straight day. Red tops with gray pants and red piping. 1-1 home. Outside, 2-1 strike. Wild Things written in brown across the chest with white numerals on the front and big on the back. Black stripes on the sleeves of the red jerseys. Black helmet with the W Washington logo on the front. 2-1 strike to Brocado. Lead off this ball game. Smith winds and delivers outside. 3-1 strike. 3-pitch mix for the ready from Katy, Texas. Fastball, slider, and changeup. He's been much better at home this season. All 5 of his wins this year have come at Bosse Field. Black glove set to the chest. Looks in and delivers. Fouled straight back off the screen. Smith struggled early against Windy City on Tuesday. Allowed 4 runs in the first inning. Never found any sort of rhythm on the mound. It's felt like the biggest issue for Smith is so dominant early in the year. Found rhythms during his starts. Here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss. Brocado chasing a changeup, falling out of the zone. 1 away.
That's our Hoosier Lottery strikeout back of the game. Congratulations.
German-American Bank strikeout for Zach Smith to start off his outing. The Otters hoping that Smith can find an early rhythm here. His first start of the season was against these Wild Things on opening weekend. He certainly found a rhythm in that outing. 6 innings, allowed no earned runs, just 2 overall runs, 3 hits, and 7 strikeouts with no walks. Lefty Wes Darville stands in, swings at the first pitch, pops it up in the right. Jeffrey Baez coming in on a jog and makes the catch. 2 away. Smith definitely trying to replicate that outing against Washington. 2 unearned runs came across in the first inning, and then Smith would allow just 2 base runners over his last 5 innings of work. The Otters would earn their first win of the season 3 months ago to the day, back on May 13th. 2 outs, nobody on for Wagner Lagrange here in the top of the first. Smith home, Lagrange fouls it off the screen. Our umpires today, Robert Davis behind home, Chris Dykeman at first, and Craig Sparks at third. The umpires have certainly been a big storyline through this whole weekend. The 0-1. Outside corner is strike 0-2. Tom Vaith thrown out on Friday, and then last night both the Otters manager Andy McCauley and pitching coach Max Peterson thrown out. It was all by Craig Sparks, who was home plate umpire last night and now at third. 0-2 home. Breaking ball outside, 1-2. Sparks has umped all 3 games. Robert Davis, who's behind home, was not umping yesterday, but he was, actually Davis was umpiring yesterday, not on Friday. Davis was at third base last night. Ryan Owen, who umped the first days, not here today. 1-2 popped up by Lagrange on the grass and foul territory is Quiggle, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Halfway down the line, just on the edge of foul territory, first baseman Quiggle makes the catch, and the Otters and Smith send Washington down in order in the top of the first. See the Otters offense for the first time on the other side. No score on the Otters Digital Network.
Grayson, Elliott, and Clayton have to race from the first base foul line to the third base foul line, holding those pizzas up. We're going to try not to drop those because they're pretty delicious. Whoever crosses our finish line first is our winner. On your marks, get set, go! Great race so far. Toppings might be everywhere, but it's pizza, we'll eat it. Speedy deliveries throughout all of our contestants today. Round of applause for Waylon, Grayson, Elliott, and Clayton with our Taroni's Pizza Race. Back to you, Zane.
Thanks, Claire. Got your battery for the
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the first inning. Washington sending Zach Kirby onto the mound for this Sunday's start. Kirby's first season as a professional, graduating from Loyola Marymount College in Southern California this spring. 0-1 on the season, but a 3.52 ERA in 4 starts, 23 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts to just 6 walks, and he's coming off 2 quality starts. No decisions in both of them, but he went 6 excellent innings against Schaumburg to start the month, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits, and then coming off 7 impressive innings at Lake Erie to start the week on Tuesday, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. Crushers would end up walking off the game, though, in extra innings long after Kirby had exited. Around Kirby on the diamond, J.C. Santini at home, Andrew Check at first, Scotty DeBrule at second, Carson Clowers at short, and Wes Darville at third base. In the outfield, Wagner Lagrange in left, Robert Chayka in center, and Anthony Bricado in right field. Tom Vaith sticking with some consistency, sticking what's working. The exact same fielders on the diamond for all 3 games in this series for Washington. Gary Mattis will lead off for Evansville in the bottom of the first. Kirby winds and delivers, and it hits off the helmet of Mattis. Right off the inside of the black helmet, knocks off the helmet of Mattis, who appears to be just fine as he jogs down to first. Dr. Mandy Flagg and the Otters team Dr. Mark Martin out to check on Mattis. With the ball ringing off the helmet, the Otters leadoff batter on the very first pitch, thrown by Kirby. Last night was eventful, and there was a variety of injury concerns for the Otters last night. Dr. Mandy went out to the field 4 different times to check on Evansville players. So 1 pitch and Mattis hit. He's at first. It brings up Noah Myers, the lefty center fielder. Kirby on the right side of the rubber delivers. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Myers moved down to the second spot in the lineup the last 2 days, with Mattis brought in back at Bosse Field for his 3rd season with the Otters. Myers, who's led off almost all season, now batting in the 2 spot. 1-0 home, outside again, 2 balls and no strikes. Get to see Kirby throw a strike. Kirby steps off, pickoff throw back to first, and Mattis dives back in safely head first. Outfield shifted over a few strides to the right, facing the lefty Noah Myers. 2-0 home, Mattis takes off, pitches high, throw down to second. Mattis slides in feet first and is out. Carson Clowers tags out Mattis on the leg, just beat him to the bag. And Washington gets the first out of the day without a strike still thrown by Zach Kirby. J.C. Santini threw out Mattis last night. The Otters, after stealing 8 bags on Friday, didn't have a stolen base yesterday. Does it again, 3-0. Sails high for ball 4, and now Myers walks. Still no strike thrown by Kirby in his first 5 pitches thrown. Myers, team leading now 48th walk of the season for Evansville. 1 on again, and still now 1 out. We'll bring up the right fielder, ready batter Jeffrey Baez. All behind the back of Kirby, working out of the stretch, peeks over at first. Myers a 3-stride lead at the first base bag, and the pitch home, a breaking ball inside 1-0. Still waiting for that first strike, and there's some frustrated body language right now by Kirby. Grabs that ball back from Santini with some frustration on his face and in his body language. At the belt, the 1-0, swing and a miss, and there's finally strike number 1. Rookie signed in mid-July after 2 rough outings to start the season. Back-to-back really strong ones for the righty from Upland, California. 1-1 inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Santini pops out of his crouch and just points down to Kirby to tell him to try to calm down. No score here in the bottom of the first with 1 on and 1 out. Kirby delivers, Myers takes off, and Baez fouls it off the screen. Otters offense, in terms of numbers, has to like a lot of things they've done this weekend, even though they're without a win. Otters have put up 27 hits through the first 2 games of this series. 16 on Friday night and 11 last night. 2-2 home. Line down the left field line and hooking foul. Right over the fence down the left field line and off the back wall. That ball would have been close to leaving the yard if Baez straightened it out a little bit, but ended up hooking about 5 feet to the left of the third base foul line pole. Another 2-2 coming from Kirby to Baez with 1 on and nobody out in a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the first. Kirby home. Lined into center field, taking Chaka in a few steps. Center fielder under it and makes the snare. 2 away. Two outs, Myers at first, and the DH Dakota Phillips comes to the plate for Evansville. Dak 1 for 9 on the series with a run and 1 walk yesterday. It was intentionally walked back in the Otters' 4th inning yesterday. Otters scored 3 runs in that 4th. There's a throwback to Myers who dives back in head first safely. Otters had a 4-run lead last night going into the 6th inning before the Wild Things put up 5 runs in the 6th. Putting a bases clearing 2 out, 2-strike double to Scotty DeBrule. That took the lead for Washington. Myers takes off again, pitch outside. Santini's throw down to second, to the left of the second base bag, and Myers foot first slide safely in for the first stolen base of the day for Evansville. Even an accurate throw by Santini wouldn't have caught Myers, who got an excellent jump on a breaking ball. 28th stolen base of the season for Myers, and he's been thrown out just once. 1-0 count to Phillips. Delivery lined into right center field. Myers is sent from third. It takes 3 hops to get to Chaka. Will just throw it into second base. Myers scores standing up, and the Otters score first. RBI base hit for Dakota Phillips. Evansville scores first for the first time in this series, and just the second time all week in 6 games. Much needed early start for Evansville as Phillips comes through with his 61st RBI of the season. Leads the Otters. Phillips at first with 2 outs, and it brings up a red-hot Yomar Reyes. 1-0 Otters. Kirby out of the stretch, delivers in, bounces off the glove of Santini and into foul territory, and Phillips races down to second base. Off the glove of Santini, a pitch inside and bounce into the foul territory grass in front of the Washington dugout. So another runner in scoring position for the Otters with 2 outs. A 1-0 count to Reyes. Kirby delivers. A beautiful looping breaking ball catches the strike zone. 1-1. What a series for Yomar Reyes. 7 for 10 on the series. With 4 runs. Leading the Otters offense the last 2 days. He swings and misses at a pitch up in the zone 1 and 2. Reyes in his last 3 games played now with 9 total hits and 8 total runs. It's mostly just been on singles. He had 1 double on Friday. Otherwise, just base hits, finding ways to get on for the All-Star. 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillips at second with 2 outs. In the bottom of the first inning, Otters 1, Wild Things nothing. Pitch home, breaking balls low, and a full count to Reyes. Payoff pitch home. Low in the dirt. Reyes works a walk.
That's the Deerhead. Sidewalk. Cafe and Bar.
The 20th pitch of the inning for Kirby. A walk to Reyes. Puts 2 aboard for Evansville with 2 outs. And brings out the Wild Things manager, Tom Vave, to talk with Kirby. This has not been a smooth start at all for Zach Kirby. Hit the first batter of the game, Gary Mattis, on the first pitch. Mattis was thrown out stealing, but then walked Myers on 4 pitches. Got Baez to fly out, but an RBI base hit for Phillips, scoring Myers, who had stolen second. And now a walk to Reyes, putting 2 on with 2 out. Just not good command early by Kirby, some frustrated body language. Out of his first 19 pitches, 7 of them strikes. It's 11 of his first 19 pitches balls. That is not a winning recipe. Kona Quiggle, lefty batter, steps in to face the righty Kirby. Phillips at second and Reyes at first. Quiggle has had a big series as well. 6 hits on the weekend. First pitch home. Outside, just missed. 1-0. 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs on Friday for Quiggle. He went 2 for 5 yesterday, including a triple, and came around to score. Reyes and Quiggle have led the Otters' offensive attack all weekend, both with really not good performances, as Quiggle takes outside again, 2-0. Big reason the Otters have put up back-to-back days with double-digit hits. Kirby on the left side of the rubber, peeks back at second and throws, swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by Quiggle, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kirby out of the stretch, rocks back and forth and comes home. Breaking ball at the knees. It's a pretty pitch on a changeup, 2-2 to Quiggle. Quiggle will call time and reset the batting gloves. 49 runs batted in this season for Quiggle, third most on the Otters. Chance here to bring in a couple more with 2 outs in the first. The Otters trying to extend their 1-0 lead. Pitch home, sails high, and a full count. Zach Kirby in just his 5th professional start, his 3rd straight on the road here at Bosse Field. But new scenario here, an early morning wake up and a 12:35 first pitch. At the belt, the payoff home, high for ball 4. Kirby turns around and stares off into the sky. Visible frustration. Back-to-back walks on full counts. 3 walks in the inning to go with the hit batter, and the bases loaded for Ethan Skinder. What an opportunity here for the Otters to take a big lead in a really important game for Evansville. There's no must-wins in a 96-game season, unless you're in the last week of the year, but this was like a big one for the Otters. What a chance here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Second baseman, righty Ethan Skinder, the batter. Pitch home. Strike on the inside corner. Skinder hitting .255 on the season, had the night off yesterday after going 1 for 5 with a double on Friday night against Washington. Kirby at the belt, the 0-1. Lined into right center field, taking Chaka back on a jog, reaches up and makes the catch. Kirby escapes a fly out to center, leaves the bases loaded in the first. The Otters get one on an RBI hit from Phillips. 1-0 after 1 inning played on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Get set, go! Close one. It's tougher than it looks. Oh, I think we have a tie here. Way to go. Round of applause for Max and Hayden and everybody for our Chef Insurance Burlap Sack Race. It's your one-stop shop for all your commercial, personal, benefits, and financial insurance. Creating relationships, finding solutions, and protecting you. It's Chef Insurance.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Budweiser, the king of beers. 1 inning played on a Sunday afternoon from Bosse Field. Washington going for their 2nd sweep of the season. Otters trying to avoid just their 3rd 3-game skid of the year. Andrew Check leads things off for Washington in the top of the 2nd inning against Zach Smith, who worked a quick and efficient 1-2-3 inning on just 11 pitches. Otters have to be shaking their heads, though, after the first, as they stranded the bases loaded. Pitch home from Smith to the lefty. Check misses outside, 1-0. Otters have stranded a combined 20 runners through the first 2 games, make it 23 after leaving the bases loaded in the first inning. 1-0 home. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Check. I mean, you just have a really struggling pitcher on the mound to start, and you want to beat him up early, possibly even get him out of the game quick. And the Otters failed to do that in the first inning. 2-0 home, high again, 3 balls and no strikes to Check. 3 walks and a hit batter by Kirby in the first, but just 1 run of damage. 3-0 from Smith. Outside for ball 4. Fourth pitch walk to Check to lead off the second for Washington.
ETC Trailblazers, constituent advocates, and program participants reach over.
The command's certainly something to watch for Zach Smith this afternoon. He has, in his last 3 starts, all losses, he's walked at least 4 batters. 4 against Windy City on Tuesday, 5 in a loss to Florence, and 4 on the road at Lake Erie. His last win back on July 21st when he went 7 excellent innings against Empire State. First pitch to Robert Chayka is popped up into left field, taking Mattis back on the edge of the warning track, makes the catch. One away, chagging to second is Check, and safely in under the tag. Not sure anyone was expecting the big first baseman to tag down to second with the ball into left. The Otters were a little surprised. Mattis's throw wasn't bad, but Check just slid under the applied tag from Skinder. Chayka flies out, I should say. One away. Check at second. Scotty DeBrule, the second baseman, into the left-handed batter's box for Washington. Smith peeks back at second and delivers. Outside, 1-0. Just one win for Smith since the All-Star break. That was that Empire State start. One-0 home. Breaking ball at the knees, a strike, 1-1. Pretty change-up from Smith. 1-0 Otters lead here in the top of the second inning. Overcast, but hot Sunday afternoon. 1-1. Lined up the middle, over to the right, the shortstop Khalil to glove it. Throw to first, speeds to Brule, 2 away, as Check goes down to third. Stick 3 ground out for the second out of the inning. Check advances 90 feet. With 2 outs, it brings up the designated hitter, Tristan Peterson. 1-0 Otters lead in the top of the second inning. Otters certainly in use of a quality start this afternoon from Zach Smith. Pitch home, popped up by Peterson and out of play.
Overhead ball brought to you by Hex Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Otters allowing a combined 34 runs so far this week, the most in a week of baseball all season for Evansville. It's just their 3rd week all year, allowing more than 30. Pitch to Peterson, sails high, 1-1. It's even more eye-popping, that number, because the Otters, their 1 win of the week on Thursday, they shut out Windy City. So it's 34 combined runs allowed in 4 games. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters allowing at least 8 runs, all 4 of their losses this week. 2-1 home. Swing and a miss, 2-2. It's uncharacteristic for a pitching staff that still ranks first in the Frontier League in ERA and runs allowed, averaging just 4.3 runs allowed this season. 2-2 count to Peterson with 2 outs here in the second. Pitch home. Swing and a miss. Slider falling out of the zone, strikes out Peterson for the second strikeout of the day for the birthday boy, Zach Smith. He works around a leadoff walk in the second, middle of the second inning. 1-0 Otters lead on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters fans, time to test your luck with our Hoosier Lottery jackpot toss. As you can see, we have our Otter bells with the Hoosier Lottery beach balls. Once this music starts, they will toss them into the crowd, and you pass them along until that music stops. And whoever's 18 or older that is holding onto a ball will win a $30 Hoosier Lottery prize pack. Zane, let's get it going. One important thing again, you must be 18 or older to win. Keep that in mind. Zane, are you 18 or older?
Yeah, by about about 15 years.
Perfect. Pass it along.
I played the lottery this week. I didn't win.
Saying, hold on to that ball. The music has stopped, and if you got that ball and you were 18 or older, congratulations from the Hoosier Lottery and the Evansville Otters. You'll never receive your prize back from our honor staff. Again, you must be 18 or older to play and win, and please play responsibly.
Bottom of the second inning from Bosse Field. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. Evansville trying to avoid the sweep on this Sunday afternoon. A few rays of sunshine poking out from mostly overcast skies this afternoon. The Otters in use of some sun rays themselves. Only been swept once all year. That was at Lake Erie over 4th of July week. The Otters 4-1 this season when dropping the first two games of a series. They've been great at putting the brooms away back in the closet for opposing teams. Scored one in the first. Justin Felix will lead off for Evansville here in the second inning. And Felix is going to get a strike put on him as he wasn't in the batter's box quick enough. Pitch clock violation. So Felix starts with a strike. 0-1 count as Kirby comes home for the first pitch, and it's fouled back. That's tough. Now it's 0-2, and Felix has only seen one pitch. It's a tough way to start your first at bat of the series for the Otters catcher. Oh, 2 home. Outside corner just missed 1 and 2. There's now sun fully peeking through the clouds. It's a sun splash Sunday afternoon all of a sudden. Hot and muggy as well. 1-2 count to Felix. Righty Kirby at the belt. Out of the windup comes home. Felix spoils it off the screen. Felix just his 5th game since being on the IL with a broken hand. His first game this week since Tuesday. Went 1 for 3 on Tuesday at Windy City. 1-2 home. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 206 batting average on the season for Felix in his 12th game, but he's done well for the Otters finding ways to reach. He's been on base in all 11 games he's played this year. Wearing sunglasses on this Sunday afternoon. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Fastball in, first strikeout for Kirby, and there's 1 away in the second. For landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the second for the righty George Khalil. Takes a first pitch strike. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. Have a project in mind? Find them on Instagram at wildspaces.com. 0-1 to Khalil. Fouled straight back, 0-2. Already 33 pitches for Kirby as he labored through the first inning with 3 walks and a hit batter. 0-2. Spoiled again by Khalil off the end of the bat and over the roof. Washington looking for just their 3rd 3-game win streak of the season. Kirby out of the windup delivers inside 1-2. Washington, they started the season so well, came here to Bosse Field on opening weekend, took the series, swept the New York Boulders, their home opening series. 1-2. Outside 2 balls and 2 strikes. They won 6 in a row, and since then, they've struggled to find any consistency. No sweep since Last night, a huge win for them to clinch the series here on the road. 2-2 inside the full count. Last night ended a stretch of 13 straight games with the Wild Things rotating a win and a loss. First time with back-to-back wins for the Wild Things since the last week of July. Payoff pitch to Khalil, fouled off the screen. Yeah, it's simple for Washington. They're rotating wins and losses. They're playing .500 baseball, improved on how they were for much of June when they really struggled. But trying to get back in the playoff picture, they're going to have to go on a run and sweep a couple teams. Another payoff. Inside for ball 4. Kirby slams his hand on his glove. Really frustrated. Takes his hat off and thwacks it against his leg. His 4th walk already of the day. Puts 1 on with 1 out. That one has to feel more frustrating for Kirby. He was ahead 0-2 on Khalil and couldn't finish him off. 1 on, 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Gary Mattis, who was hit in the helmet. The very first pitch out of the hand this afternoon from Kirby. Ready at the belt, delivers. Strike at the knees. Wild Things have a favorable schedule the rest of the way. 12 of their final 18 games at home. A win today, and they're just 4.5 back of the Otters for the last playoff spot. Pitch home, bounces in the dirt, 1-1. These teams will play again next weekend. Really, you look, the next 9 games for Washington. I mean, if they want a playoff spot, you got to beat the teams that are currently in those playoff spots. And Washington gets that opportunity over the next couple weeks. 1-1, popped up by Mattis, into left field. Back is Lagrange a few steps from the track, reaches up and makes the snare. 2 outs. 2 outs brings up Noah Myers, the center fielder. Khalil held it first as the ball was relayed in. 2 outs in the second, the Otters leading 1-0. Myers was walked back in the first by Kirby. Washington goes back home after this 6-game homestand. They get first place Gateway, then the Otters. Then they start another 6-game road trip at Schaumburg. So they're in a stretch of 4 straight series against the 3 teams in the West playoffs. Pitch to Myers, popped up, and out of play. I mean, you win those series if you're Washington, especially the one against the Otters next weekend will be important as well. And then their last 3 series of the year, 2 of them against Windy City and Lake Erie, 2 teams out of playoff contention. And Joliet right now is tied with the Wild Things in 4th place. You play a lot of those at home, and especially at this point of the season, everyone's much better at home. 1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Myers. One. Popped up left side by Myers. Third baseman Darville gives it a look, but it's out of play. Washington 21 in 18 at home this season. There's 15 and 23 on the road. Otters 27 and 16 here at home, but already dropped this series, trying to salvage a win on this Sunday afternoon. As Kirby steps off, pickoff throw back to first, and at first slide back in safely for Myers. For Khalil, I should say at first. 1-2 count to Myers. Khalil takes off. Kirby never saw him, but Myers swings and misses, and that retires the side. Strikeout for Kirby, ends the second unscathed as he works around a walk after 2 innings complete. 1-0 Evansville lead on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Fish toss. We have Charlie and Addie teaming up against Keelan and Nyland. And all we gotta do is fill up these baskets with the fish, and whoever has the most at the end of it will be our winning team. All right, go for it. A good effort for both teams. Keelan and Nyland
Experience Evansville's trails on a bike. Upgraded bike share program is Evansville's bike share, owned and managed locally by ETC. Bike stations are centrally located in Evansville, Indiana, and Henderson, Kentucky. The upgraded bike share program.
After 2 innings played, Evansville leads Washington 1-0. The Sunday series finale here at Bosse Field. Griffin, Epstein on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. As it's time for a look of the Seal Corp Frontier League standings. After today, just 3 weeks left to play in the regular season. Gateway losing last night, and Schaumburg now just 3 games back of the Grizzlies for first place in the West. The Otters 6 games back of Gateway. 3 back for Schaumburg in second place. And as mentioned last half inning, Joliet and Washington both 36 and 41. Sitting just 5.5 back now of the Otters for the last playoff spot. Windy City, Florence, and Lake Erie bringing up the rear in the West. Pretty much all 3 of those teams out of playoff contention at this point. Quebec won last night in the East while New Jersey lost. Capitales have a 1-game lead over the Jackals now in the East, with Tri-City comfortably in the 3rd spot in the playoff picture out on the East Coast. J.C. Santini leading off for Washington here in the 3rd inning. He takes the first pitch inside for a ball. First 2 innings scoreless for Zach Smith on 23 pitches. Pitch home outside, 2-0 to Santini. Just 1 base runner allowed so far for Smith. It was a leadoff walk back in the 2nd inning. He has 2 strikeouts. After a good start for really the Otters' best starter through the first month of the season, and just had a last month to forget. Otters really need him right now. 2-0, fouled to the left of the 3rd base bag, 2-1. You're starting on your birthday. I think that's a good omen. That's the way the rotation lined up for Smith. Turning 25 years old today. It's a big milestone too, 25. Big number to knock off. At the chest, the 2-1 home. Ripped down the 3rd base line again, but well foul. Bouncing off the fence next to the Washington bullpen and way out into left field. Gary Mattis is going to have to run after the baseball and toss it into the crowd. 2-2 count to Santini with nobody on to start off this top of the 3rd. Otters lead 1-0. Smith home. Outside, and a full count to Santini. Smith, number 24, turning 25 today. Not only is 25, it's just, you're a quarter to 100. So here's the payoff. Fouled off the screen, but he's old enough now to rent a car here in Indiana. I'm not sure. It's like when you turn 21, you head to the bar. You're 25, you head to the rental car store. Probably not. But, hey, if the Hertz is open today, why not go out and take it for a spin? Payoff, chop left side. Khalil plays it back on a hop. It's short. Throw across the body to first. Beats Santini by 2 steps. 1 out in the 3rd inning. Carson Clowers, the shortstop. Last batter for Smith to face the first time through the rotation, comes up with 1 out and nobody on here in the 3rd. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. Washington has won both series now here at Bosse Field between these 2 this year. Clowers fouls 1 off. Wild Things have had a lot of success against the Otters over the years. Made the all-time series by 10 games now. Washington won the season series 6-3 last year and up 4-1 this year. Grounder up the middle, past the 2nd base bag into center field. Base hit for Clowers, the first hit of the game for Washington with 1 out in the 3rd. Right over the mound and hopped over the 2nd base bag past the sprinting 2nd baseman Skinder. 1 on and 1 out, back to the top of the order, and Anthony Brocado. Three-strike lead at first for Clowers. Squiggle holding him on the bag. Clowers takes off, first pitch outside. Felix from his knees, throw to second, a good one, but not in time. Tag on the chest was late to Clowers. Breaking ball is Best bet by Felix. Not to pop out from the crouch, just have to throw from his knees. Pretty impressive throw by Felix. It was on the money, but just a little bit late. Clowers the first stolen base of the day for Washington. Wild Things stole 5 bases yesterday. Stolen bases have played a factor on both sides in this series. As Mercado takes a strike on the inner third, 1-1. Otters had 8 stolen bases on Friday. Washington 5 stolen bases last night. 1-1 count to the righty Mercado. Smith on the right side of the rubber takes off Clowers. Pitch outside. Felix bobbles the ball and will just hold it at third. Clowers steals second. Decides to go to third. Got a great jump, and Felix made the glove to hand transition at a little bobble, and his best choice was just to hold on to the baseball. 2-1 count to Mercado. Pitch home. Low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Peeled down to first, but Mercado held up 3-1. 10th stolen base of the season for Clowers in just his 21st game. 3-1 home. Popped up by Mercado, high in the sky in foul territory. Quiggle racing over at the warning track, makes the catch. He hit that ball Wild Things Park. That's out by a mile, but expansive Bosse Field foul territory. Quiggle makes the catch right in front of Otters superfan Nick Drake. Quiggle has become really comfortable over at first base, position he basically didn't play at all over the first 2.5 months of the season, but has become a mainstay at first base for the Otters over the last couple weeks. So 2 outs for Wes Darville. Lefty takes the first pitch strike. Clowers still at third with 2 away here in the 3rd inning, and the Otters leading 1-0. 14th start of the season now at first for Quiggle. The 0-1 misses in the dirt, 1-1. Mentioned up at the series at Windy City, I was talking to Kona about playing first and said he's really enjoying it. The biggest surprise for him was how much faster the game is playing on the infield than in the outfield, but enjoyed changing it up. He's been pretty comfortable over there. He's making catches in foul territory. He's had some nice stretches at first base, some picks off the dirt. 1-1, Darville fouls off the screen, 1-2. Certainly very different position, first base to center field. The ball gets to you a whole lot quicker if you're on the infield than the outfield. 1-2 count to Darville. Smith a strike away from escaping the third. Pitch home, high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith and the Otters trying to strand a runner at third base for the 2nd straight inning. Two-two. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball inside, strikes out Darville. 3rd strikeout for Smith, ends the inning in the 3rd. He's pitched 3 scoreless. 1-0 Otters, middle of the 3rd. The Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters are back on Tuesday, August 22nd, for the final Fifth Third Family Tuesday of the regular season. Believe it or not, after today, only 6 games are left in the Otters' regular season home schedule. That 6-game homestand beginning the 22nd. The tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com. See you then.
Bottom third, Otters 1, Wild Things nothing on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Griffin Epstein joining you on a steamy Sunday afternoon from Bosse Field. Mostly cloudy, but the sun for the second time peeking out from behind the clouds for the moment. Jeffrey Baez leading off for the Otters. It's First Responders Day here at the ballpark. All first responders getting in free of charge today. Kirby ready on the left side of the rubber for Washington. Baez shows bunt, pulls it back, and the first pitch misses outside. Kirby's third inning of work. Allowed one run in the first, but got out of a bases-loaded jam without further damage. He's walked 4 batters already. 1-0, right down the middle, 1-1. One pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the penultimate weekend series of the year for the Otters. Just one 6-game homestand over the last 3 weeks of the season for the Otters. They're on the road otherwise. They'll play more road games than any other team in the Frontier League over the last 3 weeks. 2-1. Outside again, 3 balls and 1 strike. 13 of the final 19 games for Evansville on the road. Starting with a 6-game road trip next week, first at Florence, and then the final series of the year between these two teams next weekend in Washington. 3-1, popped up high in the air down the left field line. Darville, third baseman, at the warning track at the tarp. It bounces off the roof. And over the tarp catch, almost had a chance there for the first one this season. It's an added difficulty, a little barrier, but the tarp is in play. Ball just got out of the yard. Full count now to Baez, who will call time. Tarp is almost always on the third base side of the ballpark. So if you're a third baseman, you often, of course, if it's an all-natural field, you become familiar with it. Most fields, though, in the Frontier League don't have tarps since they're artificial turf. Payoff home, slapped left side, backhanded by the shortstop Clowers. Really long throw to first in time to get Baez. Oh, Clowers, up in the air throw. Little Derek Jeter-esque throw. What an arm, off balance to get it to first in time to beat Baez. So you're backtracking, off balance on the edge of the left field grass by Clowers, really going away from the back towards the third base bag with a little leap. Brought him some forward momentum. What an arm to beat Baez. 1 out for Dakota Phillips with nobody on. 1-0 Otters lead. Kirby deals in the dirt, 1-0. Because of all the walks for Kirby, his pitch count quickly up, already at 55 pitches here in the third inning. It's a tired Washington bullpen finishing their 6-game road trip. 1-0 home. Hammered high in the air to right field. Back is Bricado, looking up and making the catch on the edge of the warning track. 2 outs in the third inning. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Bars Professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. 2 outs, nobody on for the third baseman, Yomar Reyes. 1-0 Otters lead over the Wild Things. Zach Kirby delivers outside, 1-0. One-0 pitch at the knees, a strike. 1-1 to Reyes. Sanders today with a team-leading 93 hits on the season. It's now 4th most in the Frontier League West. 1-1 home in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reyes is on pace. 19 games left in the season after today. If he averages a hit a game, he'll finish with the 4th most hits in Otters single season history. He's averaging well over a hit a game. 2-1 is sliced into left field. One hops in front of Wagner Lagrange for hit number 95 of the year for Reyes. So powerful at the plate, strong hands. He just keeps on finding ways to get on base. Walked in the first, base hit here in the third. It's his 8th hit of the week, 7 of them singles. Doesn't do too much with the baseball. And Reyes looks like a big power guy. He's hit just 4 home runs this year, but he's often taking a little bit something off the swing. Just finding the barrel and finding some grass. Kona Quiggle swings at the first pitch, pops it up down the third baseline. Wes Darvill at the warning track, leans over and makes the catch over the fence. Leaning over the third baseline fence, Darvill holds on to the baseball. Great play by the Wild Things third baseman. Ends the inning in the third. After 3 innings played, Otters lead 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We're about to see who can fling their pig the farthest. We'll start with Grayson. Ready to go. Load him up. Whoa. It's a weird one. Okay, we got Odin up next. He says he's going to aim it at me. I don't feel comfortable being out here. I don't like that look in his eye. That's a pretty good one. Just to the left of me. Give a round of applause for Grayson and Odin, everybody, for the Hickory Pit Stop Flying Pigs. Back music.
Thanks, Clay. It's Dog Days of Summer. I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Carrie here at the ballpark. Happy birthday to Carrie and happy 16th birthday to Braden. Braden is here celebrating birthday number 16. Thanks for joining us here at Bosse Field. Also saying hello to the UTAC Operations Support Center.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Old National Bank. Your bank for Evansville, your bank for life. It's a Dog Days of Summer at Bosse Field, and plenty of furry fellows, all smiles, enjoying a summer baseball game here at the ballpark. There aren't too many left to soak in every pitch. Top of the 4th inning, Wagner Lagrange, the left fielder, leads off for Washington here in the 4th inning. Zach Smith has allowed just 1 hit through his first 3 innings pitched. Smith delivers home. Lagrange takes outside 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. A lot of dogs here at the ballpark, and a dog is a great pet for an athlete to have. Dogs are always seem to be happy. I guess not all dogs, but you treat your dog well, the dog will typically love you back. Love you unconditionally as Lagrange takes low, 2-1. One of my favorite quotes reporting, covering a team, covering an athlete. Former Indiana quarterback, now at Washington, Michael Penix Jr. once said he was struggling a little bit. You know, there's a lot of criticism out there. It's frustrating. Lagrange pops one up. And on the infield dirt is Ethan Skinner, second baseman, way over to his right, makes the catch. Couple steps in front of the foul line for the first out of the inning. All carried way to the right. Skinner makes the play for the first out of the 4th. 1 out brings up Andrew Check, lefty first baseman, here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 lead for the Otters. First pitch home to check, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So Michael Penix said, there's a lot of criticism out there. The one person in my life that doesn't criticize me when I always come home every day and my dog is happy to see me. Check fouls it off 1-1. His dog doesn't care if he threw 2 interceptions that day or struggled in practice. And that is why a dog is a man or a woman's best friend. Maybe we all need a pet to love us unconditionally in life. 0-2 outside, 1-2. Certainly, the fans aren't going to always be kind to you on Twitter, but dogs, luckily, they're not on Twitter. Not there to criticize your performance that day. 1-2 count to check. Smith winds and throws. Breaking ball inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Appeal down to third. Check held up on a check swing. Last name spelled C-Z-E-C-H, like the country Czech Republic. Not like the Czech swing spelling. 2-2 home. Fouled away left side. Czech stays alive.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction Shoes, the best. Never regret it.
Another 2-2. Low and a full count to check. 47 pitches for Zach Smith here in the top of the 4th inning. He's allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk. Not long at bats, though, to the Wild Things. He's avoided pretty much any base runners. Of course, as I say that, the payoff pitch misses outside, and there's a walk. Just 1 base runner, though, the last 3 innings. 1 base runner each in the last 3 innings. Coming in with 3 straight losses. I wouldn't say Smith's had a great rhythm today, but just found ways to get outs, avoided serious trouble. That was much more like the Zach Smith we saw the first month and a half of the season. Robert Jacob, the batter. First pitch misses low, 1-0. Even when Smith got in trouble early in the season, just felt like every inning, find a way to get out of it. No runs allowed or just 1. Keep the Otters in the game. Such a steady guy on the mound. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Three-stride lead at first for Czech. Quiggle holding him on the bag. Pitch home, a breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Smith exited with the lead. His first 4 outings of the season. First year as a full-time starter for the Otters. Was so dominant at the beginning of the year. At one point, 18 straight innings pitched without allowing a run. 2-1 home is popped up into center field. 3 honors conversion. Baez will make the catch in front of Noah Myers in right center. Long run for Baez all the way out and right. Makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning. And Czech will hold at first base.
Second baseman for Scotty
2 outs. Second baseman Scotty DeBrule, the lefty batter, with Czech at first. 1-0 lead for the Otters in the top of the 4th. Evansville trying to get a much-needed win, salvage a game against the Wild Things. Avoid a 3-game losing streak going into a road trip. First pitch to DeBrule, misses outside, 1-0. Smith working out of the stretch. It's just above the bell. Right side of the rubber, kicks and fires home. Strike at the letters, 1-1 to DeBrule. One home. Slice right side, diving first baseman Quiggle passes glove into right field. Czech will turn around second, go to third, throw from Baez and right's a good one, but Reyes diving can't get the tag down on Czech.
Designated hitter, third
Reyes still down, sitting on the dirt, wiping off some clay off his arms. Full effort there by Reyes. Good throw from Baez, but just would have wanted a little bit closer to the third base bag. Reyes diving attempt to catch check to no avail. Base hit for DeBrule, just the second hit of the day for the Wild Things. Puts runners on the corners with 2 out and brings up the designated hitter Tristan Peterson. Smith home. Peterson, a broken bat. Flare right at Khalil. It's short, reaches up the glove and makes the catch. Third straight inning. Smith and the Otters strand a runner at third base. Middle of the fourth, 1-0 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for 37 years. Keep smiling with Paramount Dental, and we're thanking our Otters Digital Network crew for capturing those smiles. Be sure to check out Frontier League and the Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 lead for Evansville over Washington after 2 high-scoring games the first 2 days. A pitcher's duel so far between 2 Zacks, Kirby and Smith. Kirby for Washington back on the bump. Ethan Skinder swings at the first pitch and fouls it onto the concourse down the left field line. Neither pitcher's been super efficient. Both at over 60 pitches. Kirby starts the fourth here at 61. He's walked 4 batters today, but just 1 run allowed and 2 hits as the 0-1 fouled off the screen by Skinder. Now both sides really would like a long start, at least in a limited damage start, with all the runs scored in the first 2 days of this series. Combined 14 runs on Friday and combined 16 runs on Saturday. 30 total runs in the series entering today. Pitch home, it's high, 1-2 to Skinder. Ball behind the back of Kirby, working out of the windup, outfield straight away. 1-2 home. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball flies out of the zone, 1 away. Third strikeout for Kirby. Brings up Justin Felix with nobody on and 1 out in the fourth. Kirby at the belt, left side of the rubber, delivers. High, 1 ball and no strikes to Felix. Mention he's back off the IL, the second week back. This is his 5th game since returning. 2 months out, a long period to be out in the heart of the season. Want to swing and a miss, 1-1. Told me that it had been a little bit of an adjustment for him at the plate. Coming back, trying to shake off some rust. Game is a lot more sped up than in practice. 1-1 home. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. And all the things that you've been working on your recovery back for 2 months, waiting and waiting for the moment to finally get back in a game where it counts. Now you have to actually apply all that work. There's a pressure that comes with that too. Waiting for a moment and opportunity for a long time. You're just 3 weeks into the season, Felix hurt. 1-2. Chopped softly down the third baseline. Coming in the third baseman, Darvill. Long throw to first. Beats Felix. 2 outs. Kirby pointing the glove at Darvill. A really nice throw behind the third base back. Good fielding on the left side of the infield today by Washington. Clowers, a couple nifty plays, and Darvill made a great inning-ending catch, leaning over the third base fence. Third baseline fence. I'll pop out off the bat at Quiggle. 2 up, 2 down to start the fourth for Kirby. George Khalil, the number 9 batter, stands in. Pitch home. Khalil pops it up into right field, taking Bricado back, looking up, and the ball's off the warning track and bouncing off the wall. Khalil at second, not stopping there. Headed to third. Here comes the throw, not in time. A triple for George Khalil off the Hoosier Lottery billboard in right center field. Not as far as possible for both Bricado and Chaka to run. Took forever for them to get to the baseball. And Khalil never hesitated all the way to third base and easily beat the throw. 2-out triple for Khalil in scoring position. Back to the top of the order in Gary Mattis. Pitch home. Mattis chops it off the end of the bat, right back at the pitcher. Barehand by Kirby, and he tosses to first for the 3rd out. Barehanded play off the bounce by Kirby. That had the potential for disaster, but he fielded it like a veteran, and the rookie makes the throw to Mattis to strand Khalil at 3rd. After 4 innings played, 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Once again, a round of applause for your Southwest Graphics Evansville Otters.
Have you seen that in the Otter realm lately? Make sure you tell them hello if you do. Everyone's excited to see all of our fans and encourages you to visit Heritage Crawford Baking Eats, Heritage proud partner of Evansville Otters Baseball. Take a leisurely ride on an urban trail and visit amazing local businesses along the way. They're wonderful.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. 4 innings completed, 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. Many fans enjoying the ball game today, including a great group from Centerpoint Energy, game day sponsor. Great to have them at the ballpark. Some pregame words before the game by the Centerpoint Energy workers. Drive past their offices every day on I drive here into work at Bosse Field. Do a great job powering the River City and surrounding areas. J.C. Santini leads off for Washington in the top of the 5th, facing Zach Smith. Just 1 run across, 5 total hits for both sides. First pitch to Santini, misses outside. After just 2 games of absolute craziness, it's really been the opposite today. 1-0. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. There's just not much that's happened. A lot of long at-bats, but not many hits. Otters loaded the bases in the first inning, got a run across, but stranded them loaded. And since then, neither team has put up much of a threat. 2-0 home, misses low again. 3 balls and no strikes to Santini. Washington has gotten a runner to third in 3 straight innings, but has stranded that runner there. 3-0 home. Low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Santini. That's the 3rd walk by Zach Smith today.
Shortstop.
1 on. Nobody out for the shortstop, Carson Clowers. Second leadoff walk by Smith. But hasn't allowed a run to come across today. It's been a laborious performance so far by Smith, but he's working on a shutout. Carson Clowers, number 9 batter, ready batter, lays down a hard bunt down the first base line, fielded by Quiggle, and will tag out Clowers. That ball came really hard off the bat, quickly down the first base line. Assertive play by Quiggle to run out and grab it, and just ran right into Clowers to tag him out. If Clowers got by Quiggle, it would have been a tricky play with Smith coming over to cover the back. Clowers advances, though, the tying run Santini to second with 1 out, and back to the top of the order in Anthony Brocato. Brocato 0 for 2 today. Barehanded batting power hitter. Pitch home to Brocato, swing and a miss. 24th home run of the season yesterday for Brocato. It's the most in the league outside of 3 New Jersey Jackals. Smith out of the stretch, looking back at second. And the pitch home. High, 2 balls, make it 1 ball and 1 strike to Brocato. And Josh Raywalt and James Nelson both in front of Brocato, but the Jackals play in a tiny ballpark at Inchliff Stadium, so the home run number is certainly inflated there. After those 3 Jackals, Brocato the home run leader in the league. 1-1. Strike and the inner third, 1 and 2. He had 24 homers last year in a great season, helping the Wild Things to the West Division crown. Already 24 home runs this year and still 3 weeks to play. Should be able to top that number. One, 2 to Smith. Popped up by Brocato, right side, now to play.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
One, 2 home. Lined up the middle, leaping Skinner to make the catch. Right place, right time, great hops by the Otters second baseman. Steals a hit from Brocato, 2 outs in the inning. A rocket, but Skinner shaded over near the second base bag with Santini at second base. In the right place, and a great instincts to make a leaping play. 2 outs for Wes Darville, the third baseman. Santini still at second here in the 5th. Pitch home, a strike on the inside corner. A 1 count to Darville. 1-0 lead for the Otters in the top of the 5th inning. Smith trying to strand a runner in scoring position for the 4th straight inning. Keep his shutout performance going. A 1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Darville. Top of the order, top 3 in the Washington lineup. You have to reach today. It's the bottom of the lineup that's got an on base for Washington. Still looking for their first run. 1-1 home. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 75th pitch coming up next for Zach Smith here on his 25th birthday. Worked 4 2/3 shutout. Trying to earn his first win since July 21st. 2-1. High, 3 balls and 1 strike to Darville. Overcast skies on a humid, windless day. Smith peeks back at second in the 3-1 home. Hit hard right side, backhanded by the first baseman Quiggle. He'll race to the first base bag and beat Darville there. Backhanded play by the converted first baseman Kona Quiggle. Gets the 3rd out of the 5th, and Zach Smith, a birthday gem so far. 5 shutout innings. Halfway home. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
To conserve that energy at home so you can save some money. But right now, we gotta get loud because we're not done just yet. We got some more runs to score. Let's make some noise for your Evansville Otters. We gotta get a little louder than that. Let's get these dogs out while we have them here.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Working Distributors Evansville. One to nothing lead for the Otters over the Wild Things as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning in the series finale. Otters looking for a much-needed win, just 1-4 this week. Already know they'll have just their 2nd losing week of the whole season, but looking for a win to try to salvage a victory. Trying to hold on to that 3rd and final playoff spot in the Frontier League West. Loss means Washington just 4.5 back of them for the last playoff spot. A win, and Washington 6.5 back. A lot riding on the line today for the Otters. Noah Myers leads off for Evansville. Takes a first pitch strike from Devin Kirby. 0-1 from Zach Kirby. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters unable to find a way to win their last 2 days. Had good offensive outputs. Wasn't enough. 1-1 home. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters putting up back-to-back games with double-digit hits. Just the 5th time this season that they've had back-to-back games with 10 hits or more. 2-1 to Myers. Slapped right side, coming in the second baseman. DeBrule collects, tosses to first to beat Myers, 1 out. Hey Evansville Otters fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. 1 out, nobody on for Jeffrey Baez in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Otters lead. Kirby home. Baez swings and misses. The Otters only with 3 hits today. They're back-to-back games with 10 hits or more. Or 3 straight games, I should say, with 10 hits. Now, the Otters, the big offensive output in a win against Windy City on Thursday. 0-1. High again, 1 ball and 1 strike. Only once this season have the Otters made it 4 games in a row or more with 10 or more hits. That was 5 games in a row in a stretch in late June. One pitch. Looping, breaking ball inside, 2-1 to Baez. The pure number of hits has been there for the Otters, but the clutch hitting, the power has been gone this weekend. No home runs. 2-1 outside, 3-1. Runners stranded, not much timely hitting, and very much the opposite of last week for the Otters against Schaumburg when they came from behind in all 3 games to win, had really good power, hit home runs in all 3 games, and it felt like timely late game hitting time and time again. 3-1, popped up by Baez. High in the sky in shallow left field. Running in Lagrange. Long run all the way into center. And makes the catch. 2 outs. Ball up in the air for what felt like decades. Kirby, after a really slow start, like he could be a long afternoon for him, has settled in well. He's allowed just 1 base runner. That's the 3rd inning. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 5th for the designated hitter, Dakota Phillips. Lefty batters 1 for 2 today, base hit in the 1st inning. First pitch home. Outside corner, a strike, 0-1. Kirby at the belt, kicks and delivers. High again, 1-1 to Phillips. One and one. Bounces in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Phillips. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. Otters 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. No runs on 2 hits, no errors for Washington. Two-one home. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Santini. 2-2. Two-two home. Looping, breaking balls in the dirt. Phillips has worked it full. 80 pitches now for Zach Kirby. Trying to finish the 5th inning. Put up 4 straight goose eggs on the board. Washington has used 6 different pitchers out of their bullpen so far this series. Payoff home. Breaking ball misses low for ball 4. Kirby still can't find that 1-2-3 inning. It's now 3 straight innings he's gotten the first 2 batters out, but allowed that 3rd batter to reach. A walk to Phillips is the 5th walk of the outing for Kirby, but after he walked 3 batters in the 1st inning, much better command sense. It's going to be a tough spot here, though. He has to face the Otters' hottest hitter, Yomar Reyes. Base hit in the 3rd, walked in the 1st. First pitch home to the righty, popped up by Reyes in foul territory. Andrew Check under the baseball makes the catch. And on 1 pitch, Reyes retired to end the 5th inning. 1-0 the Otters lead after 5 innings played on a Sunday series finale from Bosse Field on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Some subs. It's the Jersey Mike's build a sub. Claire is out at 3rd base, and we have Avery here at 1st. All we have to do is spin around the bat 10 times, and once we have that done, it's time to build our sub. All the ingredients in the buns, and then deliver that sandwich to our honor bell. The first one to do that will be our winner. All right, we both look ready. On our marks, get set, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's set the drum.
flavors and no food coloring. The only way to get it at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a step above at 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
Back at Bosse Field, make it top of the 6th inning. Rolling along on a Sunday afternoon, Otters with a 1-0 lead over the Wild Things in the series finale. The 7th to last home game of the season for the Otters. Evansville looking for a much-needed victory over Washington. These teams playing twice in a matter of just over a week. Wild Things, the last stand in this last week or so to try to claw back into the playoff race. They've done their best with 2 impressive wins the first 2 days, but trail here going into the 6th against Zach Smith. Wagner Lagrange, ready batter, leads off for Washington here in the 6th inning. 3-4-5, part of the lineup for Washington. Smith home, Lagrange pops it up down the right field line in foul territory. The first baseman, Kona Quiggle, standing right next to the first base coach for Washington, makes the catch. 1 out in the 6th. 1 pitch, 1 out for Zach Smith.
First baseman, 28.
78 pitches here in the 6th inning as the first baseman, Andrew Chick, digs in. He's had more success against Smith than anyone else. 2 walks. Smith home to check. Strike on the inside corner. Time for an out-of-town scoreboard check brought to you by WJPS 107.1. Tune in every Monday through Friday for the Otters Daily Update on WJPS 107.1. 0-1 to check. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This one of 5 afternoon games across the Frontier League today. Schaumburg up early on Windy City, 5-0 in the top of the 4th at Wintrust Field. Boomers, after losing 6 in a row, ahead trying to sweep the Thunderbolts. 1-1 to check, fouled off the screen, 1-2. The T-Bolts just are not the same team at this point away from Mozinga Field. Schaumburg, really nice bounce back. Otters entered this weekend just a game back of the Boomers, but Evansville now sitting 3 back, and even if the Otters win today, Schaumburg wins. Otters still 3 back of 2nd place. 1-2, outside 2-2. And 2nd and 3rd spot, pretty big. Team that takes 2nd hosts the one-game wildcard game to decide your whole season in 1 game. Otters finished in 3rd last year, had to go on the road to Schaumburg and lost the wildcard. 2-2 inside, no full count to check. Elsewhere, Florence leads Lake Erie 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. The Ulls trying to salvage a win in that series. The Otters will take on Florence the first series of next week. Payoff home, check fouls away. Ottawa leads New York 6-5 in the bottom of the 5th. Doubleheader in Canada today between the Titans and the Boulders. Last game this afternoon, Sussex County leading Empire State 4-1. Niners trying to win 3 of 4 against the Grays. Payoff to check. Foul back again. Busy day for Landon, the Otters ball boy. A lot of long at bats and foul balls. Key series finale between the Wild Things and the Otters. Third payoff pitch of this at-bat upcoming from the righty Smith to the lefty batter Andrew Check. Outfield straightaways, here's the payoff. Fouled away again, straight back. Gateway plays Joliet tonight with that series on the line. An important game in the standings for both of these teams. Watching the battle between the first place Grizzlies and the Slammers, who enter the day tied for 4th with Washington. It's the rubber match, 5:45 this evening from St. Louis. Payoff pitch misses low to Check, and there is ball 4. Long at bat, Check eventually wins. He's walked all 3 times. He's come to the plate today. Hard work by Andrew Check, making things difficult for Zach Smith, who's at 87 pitches now in the 6th. As Robert Chayka, the center fielder, comes to the plate. Runner at first and 1 out. And with that walk, the Otters bullpen stands up and will get to work. Call coming in as Chayka pops up the first pitch to right. Baez back at the track, makes the catch along the wall. Long run back to first, throw to first, gets past Quiggle. And Smith backing up to keep it from rolling back to the backstop. Check so close to being doubled up. He thought that ball was going to get by Baez. He was all the way at second base. Baez made the catch along the warning track. Tough running catch in front of the wall. A good throw back to right. Back to first base. Check. That ball got into Quiggle's glove, was doubled up. Break there for Andrew Check. So 2 away. Scotty DeBrule, the second baseman, lefty batter, stands in and takes the first pitch inside. Kevin Davis, Otters ready, starting to throw in Evansville's pen. Smith, and out away from likely ending his day on his 25th birthday with 6 shutout innings and a quality outing. 1-0. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Especially this weekend, that last out to an inning has been very tough on Otters pitchers. Smith out of the stretch. Black glove at the chest, delivers. Fouled away by Chayka. Smith, this is his last inning. Can finish it without a run across because his second shutout outing of the season, first since May 20th when he threw 8 shutout against Trois-Rivières. 2-1, a chopper up the middle. Khalil racing over to his right. Gloves in, the shortstop steps on the second base bag for the 3rd out to retire the side. 6 shutout innings for Zach Smith on his birthday. His 9th quality start of the season. And the Otters in front, the middle of the 6th. 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Big burgers and the freshest sushi in all of Evansville. Visit Drinks and welcome tours and RotorDrinksCompany.com. Now let's dance. Like Bosse Field, big video gaming celebration with one of our Grand Slam picnics. And your guests will receive an exclusive Honors Special Edition hat. Thanks for being a part of an upcoming Evansville Otters home game. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com or call front office 812-435-8686. Now get back to dancing. We have Dan Murphy. And Devin Kinney. The pride of North High School is on the camera. And Ian Klingler. Got his last name right. Producing and directing our game this afternoon.
Fans enjoying Sunday afternoon baseball here from Bosse Field. And the Otters leading the Wild Things 1-0. Move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's been a pitcher's duel today between Zach Kirby and Zach Smith. 2 Zachs that have, it's just been a weird starts, I think, for both of them. I'm not sure you talk to either guy and they say they pitched that well, and yet both have been very resilient and worked around some command issues and gotten outs and stranded runners. Zach Smith has completed 6 shutout, and Kirby trying to keep the Wild Things within arm's range with 3 more outs to complete his 3rd straight quality start. Kona Quiggle leads off for the Otters here in the 6th. Kirby home. Quiggle takes a strike on the outer 3rd. Going 0 for 1 today. Walked back in the first inning. If the Otters lose this game, they're going to shake their heads at that first inning. At the bases loaded, only got 1 run across. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Quiggle. Kirby walked 3 batters, hit a batter, and a base hit as well in the inning. Looked like it could just be a really long day for him. And after being impressed with his resiliency, he's bounced back with nice sense. His pitch misses low, 2-1. Two one home. High, 3 balls and 1 strike. Kirby, who just graduated from Loyola Marymount this past season, second team All West Coast Conference. 3.84 ERA in 14 starts. Started his career at East Tennessee State. 3-1 popped up high in the air by Quiggle. On the edge of the infield grass, the second baseman Scotty DeBrule makes the catch for the first out of the 6th. Evansville Otter fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. 1 out, nobody on in the 6th, and Tom Vaith, the Wild Things manager, is going to make a change. 92 pitches for Zach Kirby, 5 1/3, allows just 1 earned run on 3 hits, and will exit here for the Washington bullpen. 2 out shy of a quality outing, but an excellent start after a shaky start for Zach Kirby tonight. Washington to the bullpen. We'll be right back. Otters lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Follow the bullpen, Washington Wild Things. One, Stephen Epstein, the next batter half is on, and two behind the close. That's powered by the answer on the turn. You strike through that innings. 2019 North February, 1-2-4-7-5, 9,000. Calvin St. from the Otters, send you. Second baseman, number 1, Ethan Skipper.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out. Tom Vaith in Washington making a call to the bullpen. Steven Knapp into the ball game for the Wild Things. 4-0 record with a 4.96 ERA on the season for the righty submariner. He makes his 20th appearance of the season. He has 5 starts and 49 innings pitched, 29 strikeouts, but also 21 walks. So he fires a first pitch strike into Ethan Skinder. Been a bullpen guy of late for the Wild Things. Just his second appearance, though, of August. He went 2 innings scoreless against Lake Erie earlier in this road trip for Washington. As a pitch misses inside to Skinder, 1-1. Day ends for Zach Kirby, 5 1/3 innings pitched. The book closed on him, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. 1-1. Chopped up the middle, charging in the shortstop. Clowers to glove it, throw to first, beats Skinder by a full stride. 2 outs in the 6th inning.
The catcher, number 5, Justin Felix.
Two outs, nobody on for Justin Felix. Washington's call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Two outs, nobody on for Felix here in the sixth. Otters holding on to a 1-0 lead, and Kevin Davis has been warming up in the Otters bullpen all half inning. Looks to be set in to come in the seventh. First pitch to Felix, swung on and missed. Catcher is 0 for 2 today, and just his second game of the week. High set for the Submariner Knapp. Comes all the way up and around. Felix swings and drives one into left field. Lagrange back, reaching up and making the running catch as he gets all the way to the warning track. Knapp gets 2 quick outs to end the 6th inning. We've played 6 innings, just 1 run to show for. 1-0 Otters lead on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Fans who wants a t-shirt, make some noise, and perhaps the Evansville Otters will give you a t-shirt if you get out of your seat, stand up, cheer, and let me hear you. Skip the line or bank from the comfort of your own home. Self-service options at Heritage, Heritage partner of Evansville Otters baseball. The ETC's front list includes the Evansville Pedestrian Connectivity Master Plan, the Evansville Community 2020 Unified Development Ordinance, the Walnut Street Corridor Project, North Tip District Plans, the Evansville Neighborhood Comprehensive 2015-2035 Plan, and much more.
Six innings complete from Bosse Field. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. They're 9 outs away from avoiding their first home sweep in over 2 years. Holding off the Wild Things in a pitching duel, the Otters starter Zach Smith will remain out for the 7th inning. He's at 92 pitches and 6 innings complete. And Kevin Davis still warming in the Otters bullpen. The Otters going to try to get a few more outs out of Zach Smith. 92 pitches. His season high 110 back in early July. He's gone over 100 5 times this season. Tristan Peterson, designated hitter, will lead off for Washington in the top of the 7th. Just 2 hits for the Wild Things. They've gotten a runner to third in 3 different innings, but stranded him there every time. Smith home, looping breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. A 1, chop foul, 0-2. A smile on the face of Smith as he gets the ball back from Justin Felix. 4 walks, just 2 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts. 0-2 to Peterson. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been a busy week for the Otters bullpen. 5 out of available right now. 6 relievers for the Otters have been used in this series. Smith on the right side of the rubber, out of the windup. The 1-2. Outside on a fastball. 90 miles per hour, just missed. 2-2. Davis, who's been warming up, was used on Thursday and Friday in back-to-back nights. The day off yesterday. 2-2 home. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball falls out of the zone. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Bud Light. Strikeout number 4 of the day for Zach Smith. 1 away and brings up the catcher, J.C. Santini. Santini 0 for 1 with the walk back in the 5th inning. Smith home. Low 1-0 to Santini.
Thomas to the press box. Lucas Thomas to the press box.
Smith home. Santini chops it foul, 1-1. Now Washington in their inconsistent season started with a lot of pitching troubles, and over the last few weeks it's been the bats that have struggled. A lot of clutch hitting through the first 2 games, but they have nothing to show for today. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball in, 1-2. This next pitch will be number 100 for Zach Smith. Outfield straight away as Smith sets at the chest. Kicks and delivers. High. Santini shaking his head, 2-2. Two home. Popped up into left center field. Myers a long run over and makes a running catch. 2 outs. Two up, 2 down in the 7th for Zach Smith. And I'll try to finish 7 shutout as he faces the shortstop Carson Clowers. Clowers 1 for 1 today, had a base hit in the 3rd, and then a sacrifice bunt laid down back in the 5th inning. 2 for 9 on the series. Pitch home misses outside to Clowers, 1-0. Home. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Clowers. No runs on 2 hits, no errors for Washington. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors for Evansville. The Otters 1 run in the 1st inning. Since then, goose eggs on the scoreboard. Justin Felix walking out to have a quick word with Zach Smith on the mound. It's 104 pitches now for Smith, number 24 on his 25th birthday. 2nd year with the Otters. Started his season last year with the Missoula Paddleheads in the Pioneer League before being signed by the Otters. Had a really good finish to the season. Evansville deciding to convert him into a full-time starter after being mixed between a bullpen guy and a starter last year. 2-0, catches the inside corner. 2-1 to Clowers. 2-1 home. Broken bat, flare right to Reyes at 3rd, reaches up the glove and makes the catch to retire the side. 7 shutout innings for Zach Smith. What a performance tonight. We'll stretch it, Bosse. 1-0 Otters in front on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Let's get some ones. The shortstop, number 6.
Final 7th inning stretch of the week completed here at Bosse Field. Little Sweet Caroline as well. Always sounds the best on a Sunday. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. Stephen Knapp got the last 2 outs of the 6th in relief for Zach Kirby, who had an excellent start this afternoon. Knapp now will face Khalil to lead off the bottom of the 7th. First pitch misses outside from the Submariner. Khalil has reached both times today. Walk on the second, he tripled with 2 outs of the 4th, but couldn't score. 1-0 right down the middle, 1-1. Kevin Davis, who's been warming up, it feels like, for the good part of the last 20 minutes or so, still throwing in the Otters' pen. See if we see him in the 8th inning. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. It's not happened a lot for the Otters the way games have gone. They've lost a lot of close games and won a lot of blowouts. But Evansville here in just a pretty trademark setup close situation. Starter goes 7 innings. You can bring up your setup guy, Kevin Davis, for the 8th. You bring in your closer, Jake Polancic, in the 9th. 1-2, chop left side, gloved by the third baseman Darville off a hop. Throw to first, beats Khalil with ease, 1 away. Such smooth fielding on the left side of the infield from Washington. It's a tough play from Darville, and he makes it look really easy. One away in the 7th, back to the top of the order in Gary Mattis. Mattis 0 for 2 today, hit by a pitch back in the 1st. Pitch home. Strike on the outside corner to Mattis, 0-1. Mattis, an addition on Friday for the Otters. The timing is big. The next 2 days, there's going to be a lot of big decisions to be made for the coaching staff and front offices in this league. The 0-1. On the outside corner to peel down to first. Mattis held up, 1-1. Transaction deadline tomorrow in the Frontier League. So any trades, cuts, signees have to happen before the end of tomorrow night. Otherwise, you can't make any moves unless there's an injury. 1-1 foul off the screen, 1-2. Pretty much the rosters will stay the way they are after tomorrow night, but you expect across the league a bunch of last-minute moves to be made. Gear up for the last 3 weeks of the stretch run here in the Frontier League. 1-2. Oh, the bat flying out of the hands of Mattis. One hopper to the shortstop. Clowers throw to first. Beats Mattis by a step, 2 away. And the bat bounced off the tarp way down the left field line. That really flew out of the hand of Mattis. Close to the Wild Things dugout, 2 away. And Tom Vaith walking out with the arm looking ready in the Wild Things bullpen, I think, to take the ball from Knapp. That'll do it. Call in for another arm from the Washington bullpen. Good work by Stephen Knapp. He gets 4 outs out of the pen for Washington with 2 outs and nobody on and a lefty coming up in Noah Myers. Washington's going to go to a lefty from the bullpen. 1-0 Otters lead. 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. The Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Call the bullpen, 17, Matt Dallas. Into pitch. The batter of Dallas is on 9, sending the team behind the plate. Pitcher catch batter. Powered by the Answer Auto Repair East 2319 North River Road 812-475-9000.
Matt Dallas into the ballgame for Washington with 2 outs and nobody on in the 7th inning. 1-0 lead for Evansville over Washington. Dallas, righty pitcher out of the University of Oregon, just graduated from U of O this past spring, making just his 5th appearance of the season. 6th appearance make it of the season. 2.35 ERA, 7 2/3 innings pitched. It's allowed just 2 earned runs on 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Dallas pitched on Friday. It's the first arm out of the bullpen for for Washington look really good, and heading in the third allowed just one hit, one strikeout in facing of 5 batters. And a really good past year with the Ducks, went all the way to the Super Regionals of the NCAA tournament. Has the lowest ERA, obviously small sample size, but lowest ERA so far in the Washington staff. Face the lefty Noah Myers with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 7th, trying to keep just a 1-run ball game. Dallas sets at the chest, right side of the rubber, delivers home. Misses low, 1-0. Now, Knapp's numbers were not very good against lefty hitters. While they do bring in another righty pitcher, Dallas splits pretty even between lefty and righties. Breaking ball at the knees to Myers, 1-1. Kevin Davis looks ready in the Otters bullpen to come in the 8th inning. Washington will have the top of the order coming up in the 8th. 1-1 home. Fouled away by Myers, 1-2. At a half-arm slot for Dallas around the side. Washington loves sidearmers in submariners. They got 2 submariners. They got a couple sidearm guys out of their bullpen as well. 1-2 home. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two home. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown by Myers, and Dallas gets the strikeout for the 3rd out of the 7th inning. Still just 1 run this afternoon. It was all the way back in the 1st, but it's holding up for the Otters. 1-0 after 7 innings. Kevin Davis coming into the game for the Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otter bells tonight. Trini in blue, Emma in red. It's also their last day working here today, so it's going to be a good fight, I think. All season long, just built up anger, frustration. On your mark, get set, sumo! I think Emma won that one. Let's reset for round 2. Still a little frustration I can sense. On your mark, get set, sumo! Spin move. We're getting a little tired here. Trini won that one. Just go for it one more time. Sumo.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Some sumo wrestling on a Sunday afternoon. The Otters leading 1-0 over the Wild Things. We start the top of the 8th inning and look ahead to the upcoming schedules for both sides. Day off tomorrow for both Evansville and Washington. Otters will start a 6-game road trip at Florence before facing the Wild Things, while Washington will head back home for a 6-game road trip. They start by placing first place Gateway before the weekend series against these Otters. Kevin Davis into the ball game for the Otters here in the 8th inning. The setup man trying to get 3 outs in the 8th. He faces the top of the order for Washington. Anthony Mercado leads off and fouls the first pitch away. Davis making his 33rd appearance of the season. It's now time for the most on the Otters. 2.61 ERA in 38 innings pitched, 58 strikeouts to 25 walks. 0-1 home. Right down the middle, 0-2. Davis pitched against the Wild Things on Friday. Allowed a walk and a hit, but 2 strikeouts and avoided a run coming across, and his inning worked. 0-2 home. Swing and a miss. Big fastball by Davis, up and in, 1 away. Otters have quieted Mercado today. He falls to 0-4, and it brings up the 3rd baseman lefty, Wes Darville. 1 out in the 8th, and the Otters lead 1-0. But they have the 1 run, and now 5 outs away from a much-needed series salvaging victory. First pitch to Darville, fouled away. Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, has not been used all week for Evansville. One of the most reliable closers in the league for the Otters, especially over the last month, likely waiting in the wings in the ninth. 0-1, popped up and foul by Darville, 0-2. Third baseman is 0 for 3 today. His top three in the lineup for Washington still all hitless. None of them have reached. Davis at the chest, kicks and fires, swing and a miss. 3 pitches to strike out Mercado, 3 pitches to strike out Darville. 2 away here in the 8th. Wagner Lagrange, left fielder, digs in for Washington. Davis, over 6 innings, 6 appearances in August, has not allowed a run. First pitch to Lagrange, fastball on the outside corner. The radar gun sets 99 from Davis. That's probably a little ambitious, but his fastball gets up to 97. 0-1. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball, slider, changeup from Davis. Fastball sits at around 95 to 96, one of the harder throwers in the league. 1-1 to Lagrange. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis has command of his pitches. Really, really hard to hit. Outside of 2 shaky appearances, almost nobody's hit him this year. 2-1. Grounded up the middle, past Davis and hopping into center field. Wagner Lagrange gets on base for the first time today. A 2-out base hit to keep the 8th inning going. Tying run aboard, go-ahead run comes to the plate. Big first baseman Andrew Check. 6'6" batter against 6'9" pitcher. Righty pitcher against lefty batter. Lagrange at first. Check has walked all 3 times to the plate today. Davis fires. Check grounds it right side and right to the first base back. Check hitting .264 on the season. He had his 17th home run of the year on Friday for Washington. Oh, 1 home. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters need 4 more outs for a much-needed victory to snap a 2-game skid. Salvage a win against Washington, give themselves a little more breathing room to hold on to the last playoff spot. The 1-1 inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Check ahead again. He's worked 69 walks now on the season. Make it 70 walks on the season. Leads the Wild Things. 2-1. High again, 3 balls and 1 strike. One of the more patient hitters in the Frontier League. You don't typically think of big guys, big swingers as patient, but Check is just that for Washington. The Otters bullpen is going to start moving. 3-1. Popped up out of play and a full count. Will be the Otters closer, Jake Polancic. Hasn't been used all week. 11 saves on the season. Will start to throw in the Otters' pen. Payoff pitch coming to Check. Wind home. Popped up by Check, high in the air, in left field. Mattis a few steps in, now really coming in and makes a running catch to retire the side. A late read by Mattis. He had to go into almost a full-on sprint to find a dying baseball, but Davis works a scoreless 8th, and the Otters need 1 more inning to secure a victory. Middle of the 8th, 1-0 Otters lead the Wild Things on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
William Henry Harrison and FJ Wrights. They each represent a row our Otter Bells have picked out. And if that row's legend wins, they win too. Legends, on your mark, get set, go! We are off. Wrights and Harrison up close, but Wrights is pulling ahead. Bosse kind of there. Really there. It's a race to the finish for Wrights and Harrison.
Top 9 from Bosse. Just 6 hits combined in this ball game, and it's a 1-0 lead for Evansville over Washington. Justin Goose and Brown into the ball game for the Wild Things. I've had 3 straight days of pitching for the righty from Southern California. Goose and Brown pitched the 9th inning last night to secure the Wild Things win. Didn't allow a base runner and 1 strikeout in a quick inning of work. He pitched 2/3 of an inning on Friday and allowed 2 hits and 1 run. Overall on the season has been strong. 23rd appearance of the year, 3.03 ERA in 32 2/3 innings pitched. Try to keep the lead at just 1 for the Otters. Give Washington a comeback chance in the bottom of the 9th. Jeffrey Baez leads off and takes the first pitch strike. Washington will have Chaka, DeBrule, Peterson, 5, 6, and 7 due up in the 9th inning. Goose and Brown below the belt, side armor home, slider outside, 1-1 to Baez. Jake Polancic, Otters closer, warming up in the Evansville bullpen. One. Outside corner a strike, 1-2. Baez 0 for 3 today. Otters don't have a hit now since the 4th inning. Just 3 hits apiece, 1 run in the first inning for the Otters. It's the only run on the board. 1-2 home. Grounded right side over the first baseman. Check to glove it. Underhand toss back to Goose and Brown. It beats Baez to the bag. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
Designated hitter, number 7, Dakota Phillips.
1 out and nobody on for Dakota Phillips. Lefty DH, 1 for 2 today. Base hit in the 1st and a walk in the 5th. He has the only RBI today. Noah Myers walked, stole 2nd, and Phillips brought him home with the base hit to the right side. Otters would load the bases after that, but couldn't score any more in the 1st. And since then, nothing but zeros on the scoreboard. Goose and Brown home, strike on the inner 3rd. Three hits apiece, no errors, 1 run for the Otters, no errors for the Wild Things. 0-1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Phillips. The Otters' only win this week was a shutout. So they beat Washington 7-0 in the series finale of that series. It was a comfortable victory for the Otters on the back of Tim O'Grafer who went 8 shutout innings. It's going to be a lot tighter into the 9th today. 1-1 home. Popped up by Phillips and out of play, 1-2. Overcast skies on a still and muggy day Sunday afternoon. Otters have been very good on Sundays this season, especially at home. Otters have won their last 6 Sunday home games. 1-2 is grounded right side and foul. You have to go all the way back to the first Sunday of the year, which was against these Wild Things, the Otters' last Sunday home loss. 9-5 overall this year on Sundays, which is their best record of any day of the week this year for whatever that's worth. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters haven't been swept at home in over 2 years. June of 2021 against Schaumburg. They've only been swept once all year. A win today keeps that run going. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball falls out of the zone. 2 away in the 9th. 2 outs and nobody on for Yomar Reyes. Jake Polancic, closer in the Otters' pen, looking to come in the 9th. Zach Smith in line for the win. 7 shutout innings on his 25th birthday for Zach Smith. Reyes 1 for 2 today, walked back in the 1st inning. What a week he's had. 8 total hits in this series, and 11 in his last 4 games. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up into shallow right. Long run in, sliding Brocado, and makes the catch. Stole the ball from the grass. sliding catch for the third out of the inning. Otters go down in order in the 8th to the 9th. The Otters closer, Jake Polancic in. The Otters 3 outs away from a win. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters called the bullpen. Jake Polancic in to pitch. The batter, Polancic on the mound. He looks behind the plate. Powered by the answer auto repair base. 2319 on the road. 812-475-9000. And wishing a very happy birthday to our very own Zach Smith, who's celebrating the birthday of Bosse Field today. Happy birthday to Zach. Enjoy the rest of your special day.
Ninth inning from Bosse Field, and the Otters go to their closer, Jake Polancic, to try to get the last 3 outs of the game and win a 1-0 ball game. Polancic, great on the season for Evansville, 11 saves on the season, 11 of 13 in save opportunities, 1.82 ERA, and 24 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed just 5 earned runs all year, 37 strikeouts to 14 walks in those 24 innings pitched. It's his first outing all week. Hasn't pitched since last Sunday against Schaumburg when he earned the save against the Boomers in 1 inning pitched, allowed 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and just 12 pitches needed. Face the middle of the lineup for Washington. Robert Chayka leads off for the Wild Things. First pitch home to the right, he fouled away. Chayka is 0 for 3 today with flyouts all to the outfield. Scotty DeBrule on deck. Tristan Peterson, the designated hitter, will follow him. 5, 6, and 7 in the Washington lineup. A 1 at the knees for a strike. 0-2. 11 saves on the year for Polancic. Leads the Frontier League West and tied for the 3rd most in the league. At the belt, the 0-2. Inside, nearly hit Chayka. 1-2. Chayka's had a really nice series. 3 hits, including a double and 2 runs yesterday for the Kentucky Wesleyan grad. 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mini homecoming for the infielder from Chicago. Washington running out of time. Last chance for a run, trailing 1-0. Pitch home, in the dirt, and a full count. Polancic takes a big, deep breath on the bump, settles back on the rubber on the right side. Arm dangling by his side, sets at the belt, sides the shoulders, kicks and throws. Popped up right side, out of play.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hands Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Just 3 hits apiece for both sides. A run by the Otters in the first is held up over the last 8 innings. Polancic back at the belt. Another payoff. It hit him on the right hand. Would have been ball 4 anyways, off the right hand of Chayka. And it puts the tying run aboard for Washington. And the Wild Things athletic trainer, Austin Pascarella, walking out to make sure the hand is okay of Chayka. If it's not, you probably want to get in a pinch runner here for Washington with a huge tying run on. Chayka okay, shaking out that right hand. He'll walk down to first base as the tying run. 1 on, and nobody out for Scotty DeBrule, the lefty second baseman striding to the plate.
Second baseman for Scotty DeBrule.
Polancic will work out of the stretch, peeks over at first. 2-stride lead there for Chayka. Quiggle on the bag. Pitch home. Outside to DeBrule, 1-0. Second baseman 1 for 3 today. Base hit in the fourth and 2 ground outs. He has probably the biggest hit of this series. Bases clearing double in the big 6th inning yesterday for Washington to complete a 5-run inning. Polancic steps off, fires back to first, and Chayka back to the bag. Chayka 17 for 19 stealing bases this year, and he takes off. Pitch outside, throw to second, not in time. Uses his speed for a great jump, and a throw from Felix never stood a chance. Head first slide in, and the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. It's a 1-1 count to DeBrule. Does Washington try to lay down a bunt here? Quiggle a few steps in on the grass at first. The 1-1, he does show bunt and pops it up foul. Now does DeBrule try it again? Nobody out here in the ninth. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Wild Things. And the tying run for Washington in scoring position and Robert Chayka. Chayka takes a 4-stride lead at second. Khalil, the shortstop, shadowing behind him. 1-2 home. Popped up down the left field line and hooking foul. Not showing bunt now for DeBrule with 2 strikes. Tristan Peterson, the DH, is on deck. He's 0 for 3 today. Otters trying to hold on and secure a badly needed win. Polancic peeks back at second and comes home. Outside, just missed. 2-2. Polancic out of the stretch on the right side of the rubber. 2-2. Fouled straight back. Defensive slicing swing by DeBrule. On 1-0, Otters lead here in the ninth. Tying run for Washington at second with nobody out. Polancic readies and delivers. Low and a full count. Payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. DeBrule works a walk. It puts the go-ahead run aboard for Washington here in the ninth. Chayka at second, DeBrule at first, and Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, out to chat with Polancic. Both at-bats got to full counts. Chayka was hit on the payoff pitch. DeBrule works a walk. Max Peterson out to talk with Polancic. It's kind of been the theme of Polancic's season. He's not made things easy on himself, but he's been great at getting out of jams time and time again. 9 of 11 in save opportunities this season. Coming off a save against Schaumburg last time out. This is going to be about as tricky as it gets now with 2 on and nobody out. And Tristan Peterson, the DH, up for Washington. Does he try to lay down a bunt now? Quiggles a few steps in on the grass at first base. Reyes back behind the bag at third. Peterson shows bunt. Pitch home. Pulled back, but a strike on the outside corner. Coho came way in at first. Chayka, the tying run at second. DeBrule, the go-ahead run at first base. Polancic at the belt, peeks back at second. Another bunt shown by Peterson. The wind home is bunted down the third base line. Fair ball, picked up by Reyes. He'll throw to first, bounces to Quiggle in time to get Peterson 1 out. Quiggle had to hustle backwards. He came in if the bunt was rolled down the right side. Just able to get back to the bag in time on the throw. But Peterson does his job. He advances both runners. The tying run is at third. The go-ahead runs in scoring position to Brule at second.
Your attention, please.
Washington's going to use
Washington.
a pinch batter here.
31, Tommy.
Tommy Caulfield will pinch hit for Washington. Lefty batter in for J.C. Santini to face Jake Polancic. Caulfield hitting .236 on the season. This is his 38th appearance. Lanky lefty. A huge spot. Polancic out of the stretch. Pitch home. Low 1-0. First appearance of the weekend for Caulfield. Quiggle a few steps in at first. Reyes aligned with the bag at third base. 1 out, 2 on, top of the ninth. Otters lead 1-0. Polancic home. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside. 1-1 to Caulfield. Chayka would tie the game. He's at third base. DeBrule scoring would give Washington the lead. He's at second. Otters trying to get 2 more outs to hold on. 1-1 home. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Carson Clowers, the shortstop, is due up on deck. Long look in for Polancic. He sets at the bounce. Pauses and fires. Swing and a miss. Caulfield will call time. Scrape at the dirt in the batter's box. Ready pitcher facing the lefty batter. A 2-2 count with 1 on, 2 in scoring position for Washington. Evansville leading 1-0. Two-two home. Line into right field, coming in. Baez a 1-up in front of him. Runners had to pause. Here's the throw home. Out at the plate is Chayka. A base running blunder by Washington. There's 2 outs. The Otters still lead by 1. Caulfield went to second. DeBrule goes to third. But what a mistake by Washington. What a throw by Baez in right. Chayka didn't have to go home. He could have just stopped there if he didn't think he had the chance to score. Just load the bases. And he was out by a mile. He didn't even slide. So now it's Carson Clowers with 2 outs. Righty batter takes the first pitch inside. My goodness. DeBrule at third will tie the game. And Caulfield at second, the go-ahead run. Otters an out away from holding on. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Now, it was a weird play. It was a ball that might have been caught by Baez, and obviously Chayka just wanted to wait at third to see if it was caught. 1-1 home. Popped up, right side out of play. And the Otters are a strike away from escaping with the win. Polancic out of the stretch. Sets and deals. Popped up by Clowers in foul territory. Felix running back, and the ball will bounce on top of the roof.
Brought to you by Hex Construction. Choose the best.
1-2 count to the shortstop, Clowers. Otters trying to avoid their first sweep at home in over 2 years. Jake Polancic Trying to earn his 12th save of the season the hard way. Shakes off a sign from Felix. Long look in. And now he's going to step off. First disengagement used by Polancic of the at-bat. Zach Smith, who pitched 7 shutout, clapping from the Otters dugout, hoping to see his friend and teammate finish it off. 1-2. Outside, 2-2. DeBrule at third, the tying run. Caulfield at second, the go-ahead run for Washington. 2-1, 2 out, 2-2 count in the top of the ninth. Polancic fires. Swing and a miss! Clowers strikes out. No sweep this weekend. Otters win. Drama in the ninth inning. A base running mistake by Washington might have cost them the game. And the Otters, after 2 deliberating losses to start the series, get a win that they so badly needed to finish the week and give themselves a little more breathing room with 3 weeks left to play for the last playoff spot in the Frontier League West. Boy, was that interesting. Polancic earns his 12th save of the season. Most in the Frontier League West, and as he's done it so many times this year, runners on drama, but time and time again, the excellent closer for the Otters finds a way, and the Otters find a way for their second win of the week and avoid a home sweep at the hands of Washington. Otters improved to 42-34. 2-game losing streak comes to an end, and Evansville builds a little more breathing room between them and Washington for the last spot in the Frontier League West for the playoffs. Otters sit in the third and final spot in the playoffs. Washington drops to 6.5 behind Evansville. Joliet 5.5 back entering tonight as they play Gateway. What a way to finish, and Washington will bemoan the base running mistake by Robert Chayka with one out in the ninth inning. Runners at second and third after Peterson had bunted Chayka and DeBrule over. Caulfield blooped one into right field off the bat. Baez kind of played it well, almost looking at first that he might catch the ball. It ended up landing well in front of him. And both Chayka and DeBrule behind him took off, and Baez made a great throw home. Chayka didn't even slide. He was out by a mile. What was the right play there? Should he have, if he knew that ball was going to drop, obviously you take off right away and score. It was probably too shallow for a tag. But the best decision probably would have been just to hold at third base. And the bases would have been loaded with 1 out for Washington. Instead, got the run out at the plate. Baez throwing him out for the second out of the inning. And then Polancic gets Clowers to strike out to escape the ninth inning. 1 run for the Otters came in the first inning. Have a run in the first. You don't think it's going to hold up for the whole game, but indeed it did. Mattis was hit by a pitch to start the game. He was thrown out then. Noah Myers worked a walk, stole second base. After Jeffrey Baez popped up, Dakota Phillips, an RBI base hit to right, scoring Myers, and that was the only run of the ballgame. The final totals: Otters 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Washington, no runs on 4 hits and no errors. Zach Smith, bounce back performance on his 25th birthday. He gets the win. Smith moves to 6-6 on the season, his 9th quality start of the year, while a tough luck loss for Zach Kirby. He falls to 0-2, and Jake Polancic earns his 12th save of the season. Otters will be back on the road this upcoming week, kicking off a 6-game road trip. Otters will head to Florence for the second time this year and the second of 3 series between the teams in the month of August. First game will be Tuesday night, a 5:32 p.m. Central Time first pitch to be exact, from Florence, Kentucky, and Thomas More Stadium. Will be there on the Otters Digital Network on the road. 3 games at Florence and then 3 against these Wild Things in Western Pennsylvania. Hope you can join us then for the Otters 6-game road trip, but it's been a great job all weekend by Excellent Flow Sports and Otters Digital Network crew. Our excellent director, Ian Klinger, the last 2 games doing an awesome job. We'll be back here at Bosse in a week for one final 6-game homestand, as the Otters will hit the road for the next 6 games. Otters avoid the sweep. They get a 1-0 victory over Washington and their 9th shutout of the season. I've been Griffin Epstein for the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. For our entire crew signing off on this Sunday afternoon, the Otters beat the Wild Things 1-0. So long from the River City.